I particularly like it when my prey is frightened.
What up, what up, what up? Serial Assassin here, and I got another game plan commentary for y'all. Alright, so I was thinking about this last night, and I know this is going to be a little bit of a deep topic, but yeah, it's something I want to talk about. I like to get real deep now and then, so here we go. The topic today is perception is reality. So what does that mean? Well, first let's look at the definitions of each word. Perception. The act or faculty of apprehending by means of a senses or of the mind, understanding. Makes sense? Immediate or intuitive recognition or appreciation as of moral, psychological, or aesthetic qualities, insight, intuition, discernment, an artist of rare perception. That's a little bit more complicated. All right, so let's look at reality. The state or quality of being real. Resemblance to what is real? A real thing or fact. Okay, so for each of us, this will mean something different. Some of us will see it the same way as others, and others will just have huge differences in what it means to them. And that just furthers the point of the topic. Each of us has our own perception of things, and that perception becomes our reality. So our perceptions of things, events, people in our reality, since it is the perception that we have, it becomes our reality. Other perceptions shape their reality. Some quick examples. So on the screen, does this 3D block have the front side facing down and to the left? Or is it facing up and to the right? Good question. Again, it's all about your initial perception and it becoming your reality. You know, these are common optical illusions, so, you know, I'm sure you've seen them 1,000 times, but I'm just trying to make my point. All right, so here's another one. Is this a picture of two people facing each other? Or is it just a picture of a vase or a vase, however you want to say it? Again, it's what you initially see. Your initial perception is your reality. Because the mind is a powerful thing. How it interprets and perceives something becomes your reality. Okay, so I've gotten real deep on you real quick. So let's try to think about this in a more simple way that we all can relate to, okay? When we're all small children, we have our parents, a relative, or somebody that just seemed larger than life. The perfect role model for who we wanted to be when we grow up. They could do no wrong, or at worst, their actions, which that others said were wrong, we could justify them and defend them. For me, that was my Uncle David. I thought he had it all. He had the girls, he had tons of friends, he was a star on the football team, a star on the baseball team, he ended up getting a full scholarship to college for baseball, and even got drafted by the Houston Astros. I wanted his life so bad. He had all that, plus he had loving parents, a big house, a pool in his backyard, and seemed not to have a trouble in the world. He was my real-life hero, and I wanted to follow in his footsteps. There was nothing more I wanted to be when I grew up than my Uncle David. So now, I want you to think of that person in your life, and how you saw them when you were young. Got it? Got that person in your mind? Now, fast forward a couple years, 2 to 5 years ahead. Did you still see them the same? Or did you see them a little bit more flawed, a little bit more human, a little less greater than life? And just now remember, that's not because of anything they did or any of the changes they went through. Well, most likely not. But mainly because your perspective of things changed. You had more experience, more knowledge, and more insight to change your perspective of that person. And then that person became a different person in reality to you. Your perspective was different, so you saw them differently, and you know they just changed. So, why am I pointing this out? What is the point to all of this? Well, I'm glad you asked, because I can get to the reason for this commentary. Think of this, perception is reality, on a daily basis with all the things, all the people, and all the events that you see or hear. Try to see everything from all angles or all perspectives. Most people walk through life in a bubble of beliefs or perceptions that were passed down to us from our peers or from our family, and will continue through life holding dear to those beliefs and perceptions, not really growing, not really changing. And in my opinion, that is the same as walking around with blinders on your eyes, like a horse that drags around the buggy in like Central Park or, whatever. You've seen them all. Everybody's seen the buggy with the little flaps on the side of his eyes, the horse. So that's what I'm talking about. It's just you have what we call tunnel vision. You only see what's ahead of you. You don't want to see anything around you. You hold firm to your beliefs, your perceptions, and you're comfortable in your reality that you've created. So with everything going on politically and with the religious fanatics and statements, with everyday simple events in your life, you will hear or see something and your gut reaction will be one thing. That reaction or perception is what was instilled in you as you grow up. It will always be there. But when you get to a point in your life, when you're ready to open your eyes, open your mind, truly see the world for what it could be, you will be able to get past that gut reaction or your initial perception and look at the situation from different angles, effectively changing your perspective and possibly changing the reality of it. And in the same breath, you'll be growing as a person. You'll be expanding your mind. So to put it in more relative terms to my channel and why you all guys all watch me and listening to me, Black Ops 2 will be exactly what you expect it to be. If you think it's going to be garbage, you will effectively convince yourself as you play that it is just that. Because no one wants to make themselves look wrong, do we? If you go into a job interview thinking it's going to be horrible, chances are it will become horrible because that's your preconception, that's your perception of things, and your perception becomes your reality and you make it happen unconsciously. So, on the flip side, will think the game will be awesome. I will look past everything that is annoying, as I always do with COD, and just love the game. And now and then I'll bitch about the bad stuff, but all in all, I'll love the game. I enjoy change. If everything went the same, then life would be boring. If no one ever thought outside the normal perception of things, change would never happen. Electricity would have never been discovered. Computers would have never been invented. The PS3 or Xbox would have never become such a big thing in our lives, in my life. Changing perspective is a good thing. Examining things or situations from multiple perspectives will broaden your horizons, change your thoughts, and make you a more interesting person. Because, if you know somebody that never really changes, they're always the same, you might see that person as a rock, a pillar, someone that you can always count on to be exactly the same, but they're not all that interesting. But if you know someone that's always looking at things from different angles and, changing their mind and opening their eyes, that person's interesting. That's someone that you tend to hang out with. So, real quick, here's some quotes about perception that I love. The more I see, the less I know for sure. That was John Lennon. The world is full of magic things, patiently awaiting for our senses to grow sharper. That's Yeats. To change ourselves effectively, we first had to change our perceptions. That's Covey. The optimist sees the donuts. The pessimist sees the whole. Oscar Wilde. All right, now I hope this wasn't too deep and I actually got you to think whether you wanted to or not. Leave a comment below on how this topic relates to your world, how changing your perspective in your life changed it or helped you in a situation see something that you originally would not have. I love comments almost as much as I love subs and subscribers. If this was too deep of a topic or that you didn't like it, leave a comment saying so. I like thinking deep sometimes and I like to share my thoughts. I'd appreciate your honesty and your comment on how I did and what you think, whether it's good or bad. As always, thank you for listening. Maybe I deserve a like if you're still here. And if I don't, click the dislike button. But please leave a comment and tell me why. Thanks again. I'm out. Peace!